Hi there, it's Storyteller Mitch. In my spare time, I'm reading Anne Rule, and reading The Stranger Beside Me. And I'm not going to read the whole book, but there's a part where he talks about Ted Bundy being into poetry, like writing Anne Rule poetry letter, having poetry in her letters. And I wanted to read it to you. It doesn't have the whole thing, so I'm just going to read an excerpt from the book, The Stranger Beside Me by Anne Rule. Starting. Okay. The second letter from the Salt Lake County Jail came on October 23rd, and much of it was a poem, countless stanzas online in jail. He was still only an observer, not a participant. The poem rambled over both sides of 16 pages of a yellow legal paper. He called it Nights of Days, and it began, "This is no way to be. Man ought to be free. That man should be me." The meter often faltered, but the words all rhythmed as he again bemoaned his lack of privacy and the cuisine in the jail. The omnipresent game shows and soap operas on television set in the dayroom programs, which he termed visual brain cancer. He wrote, as he often would, of his belief in God. We had never talked about religion, but now Ted was apparently spending a lot of his time reading the Bible. Sleep comes on slowly. Read the words of the holy. The scriptures bring peace. They talk of release. They bring us to God, and there that seems odd. But his gift is so clear. I find that he's near. Mercy and redemption, without an exception. He puts me at ease. Jailer, do what you please. No harm can befall me when the Savior does call me. The endless poem talked of another release, sleep. He could forget the nightmare he was living in, the bars and the screams of the prisoners, when he slept. So he napped whenever possible. He was trapped in a caged human sea. Moving easily from the Bible to the menu in jail, a bit of his humor resurfaced. It makes me feel blue, taking food from the animals in the zoo. Pork chops tonight, Jews are uptight. I gave mine away, it still has a tail. And as for dessert, the cook, that old flirt, surprised us with mellow peach jello. For all his days in jail to come, he would decry jello. As for the other residents of the jail, Ted found them childlike, overgrown kids. Some really believed they were born to deceive. Some really believed they were born to deceive, to make a bankroll from monies they stole. They do not relate to going it straight, except when in court they sometimes resort to making a plea for a new life of leniency. His own inner ordeal emerged at the end of the poem. The fear of the cage was there. Days of days, self-control pays. Don't lose your mind, panic's not kind. Days of days, my integrity stays. Was this poem contrived? Something to play on my sympathies, which really needed no stimulus at all? Or was it the true outpouring of Ted's anguish? In the fall of 1975, I was terribly confused, besieged on the side by detectives who felt sure that Ted was guilty as hell, and on the other by the man himself who insisted again and again that he was innocent and being persecuted. It was a dichotomy of emotions that would stay with me for a long time. And that's the excerpt. And that's it for today. I'm not feeling good, so peace.